Hello everyone, welcome back to more chess. I had a look after our last session. Indeed, we did become rated for real. I think actually that happened in between the two games the last session. I just didn't notice. That's why our rating has 2 data points here and here. So we're no longer provisional. We did it. We're 1391. Better than 42. What is this? What are these stats I'm gonna get? Oh, rapid players this week. Ah, okay. So it's not like anyone who's ever played chess on Lichess, I think. What is this? Oh, I see. What percent of players you're better than? Okay. Interesting. So this is kind of cool. It's not like everyone who's ever played chess long enough to get rapid rated, but just everyone who's played this week, I guess. Interesting. That's kind of cool. So, you know, below average of players on Lichess. That's not a surprise to me. I'm not disappointed about it. It's kind of nice to be bad at something. It was kind of stressful being okay at Prismata. Better than many of the Prismata players out there, but still getting crushed by the top players. Okay. Well, I don't know. Sure. Develop a knight. It was stressful, you know. Having expectations of doing well against most players on the ladder at a time when, you know, Prismata had more than 6 people playing, or whatever the number is these days. Knight there. I mean, I can do this if I want. This would be more modest. I don't know, like, I mean, I defended here, but it doesn't seem that amazing. Oh, whatever. Let's do it. As I told you, I don't really know opening theory at all. That wasn't something we focused on when I was learning as a child. And of course, I've seen people I don't like this. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be a great sack, I don't think. I need to get some pieces out there, huh? This is a Velpa Knight. Anyway, when I was learning as a kid, we just learned, like, I don't know, really, really basic stuff. You know, get your pieces out. I don't even know if we talked about control the center, or if that was something I learned as an adult just watching chess videos on YouTube. This is a pretty okay square for a knight someday, but right now my knight is tied down to defending the pawn. Queen here addresses that. Or bishop here. I really hate giving that bishop so little scope. What are you supposed to do with the bishop when you put a pawn here? Put him here, I assume. So maybe that's why you're not supposed to put a pawn here? I also remember we had to sit on our hands to stop us making impulsive moves. It's a very popular thing to teach small children. I wasn't small. I was like, I don't know, 9? Maybe? I don't remember very clearly what age I was at that time. Maybe even a little older. I'm not sure. But it was never anything I took at all seriously. It wasn't like I was being, you know, groomed to be the next. Well, it wouldn't have been Magnus Carlsen at the time. Okay, they're gonna go in for this, sacking the bishop to ruin my king position. All right. I don't know. I'm like halfway to castling by hand, though, right? It's not so bad. Knight here takes, exposing an attack on the king side. I think I'd be happy with that trade. What I'm more worried about is they move this knight and then kick me away with the pawn. But this gives me a good attack and tempo because the knight has to move. Yeah, because I can queen here, form a battery. It would be better, of course, to have a battery like... Oh, takes queen here. They react like this, I suppose? That seems promising. But my king is very exposed. Check, check, takes. Pretty bad. Takes. Here. I guess I can't quite make it work. But okay, let's isolate this pawn, I guess. Open up more tactical positions at some point. Ooh. What's happening here? Okay. Oh, well, this bishop is in danger now? I didn't see that. The knight was falling anyway with your pawn. Stop! Oh my god, I give up. Okay, so I underestimated the danger of letting that bishop sacrifice itself much earlier. I think having my king exposed just led to so many tactical attacks like that, and I was paying attention to what I could do to the opponent in principle if given a few moves at this stage, right? But not. I was like, okay, yeah, they could check me, but like, is it going to be that big a deal? And the answer was yes. They get. Oh wow, I'm still actually. This is not a threat. I just had to recognize that what they could do is take this knight, and I just would need that to not be with check, and I'll be ahead. Right. My second choice was like, what if I go here for safety? That's also wrong because this knight is the key point on the board. If I do this, they pick up the knight, sure. Queen there? I guess to stop more future checks, maybe? Interesting. So once again, I kind of took white's starting advantage and built up some kind of cool stuff and then just blundered everything. It makes me a little sad. So wait, was that the only big mistake I made? Wait, learn from your mistakes. Yeah, so it's saying just do this. I had I had a bunch of inaccuracies and mistakes. A mistake. But this was the only one it thought was really worth talking about, huh? Interesting. So what happened here? I pushed this pawn, and it's like, no, don't do that. Oh, no, I didn't. I moved the knight. And there's some tactical shot if they do this? Like, it's saying this is the way to maintain the advantage. It's saying I should do that. I don't know, like... I don't know exactly why I was supposed to throw away this pawn. To give myself a partially open file? Oh, to get an attack against this bishop? It's weird. Anyway, I'm still like, I'm losing. And if I just build a stronger center, it's not so bad. Okay. Okay, so actually this bishop sack was apparently awful for white. I mean, not against me, because it led to the tactical blunder that I made, but against a computer, it's terrible. This drops a piece or a pawn. That drops another. Huh. Alright, let's just play another game. Look at this guy. Very, 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 very chill stream. Huh. I can't tell how much of that clickbait is like a meme and how much is real. Oh, you guys couldn't see the tooltip showing the whole title, could you? It ended with "Find out what happens next?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. I think there were some exclamation points in there, and it was all caps. After falling asleep on Lichess. Okay, I somehow had I just suddenly had this idea. What if I did that? Like, that's not a good move. Don't do that. I don't know. We'll start developing pieces. Yep, seems fine. I'll get my knight out. I think this knight is why it makes sense to push these two pawns moves 1 and 2. Maybe. Because, like, right, I want to push this, but I can't because they have two defenders on that square, or 2 attackers. I only have 1 defender. I kind of want to do this, and then it would be supported enough. But doing this is kind of... Actually, wait, my queen's supporting, so I could do that if I wanted. Sure, let's do it. I don't know. This is actually kind of bad, I think, now that I look at it, because if they go in for the trade, it's even on material, and I get a queen out here. But I don't really want my queen out there, I don't think. Ooh, that's exciting. What about bishop here? It attacks the queen, but I don't think they really care. I could just move a pawn or something. I think they'd be happy to... Well, I don't think they want to make that pawn move. It makes the knight a little unhappy. That's where he wants to get to. I think I'm okay with this. And then when provoked, return to e3. So this move seeks to provoke f6. Okay, they put the knight into a pin instead. That's fine. Now that's something I can try to exploit, perhaps, someday. Like, knight here? This pawn is not defended, right? Except by the queen. Here. And they can't do this, because I pick up the queen. Yeah. I'll pre-move that, just optimistically. I want to take this so that I can, like, I don't know exactly why. Oh, but if I move my knight, they suddenly have 3 attackers here, and this pawn falls. Huh. Huh. Take with check. They kind of have to do this. Then my bishop is in trouble. But could return here. I don't like that they can do this. They can't really. I think I'll leave my knight here. But then they could do this, right? All right, let's remove this knight. And ruin their king side if they're going to do the same to me. And this leaves me with a very strong knight, who's also helping to protect this by being in the queen's way. And support this pawn with a pawn so that it takes. I think so. So I want my queen free to defend here. And having to rely on her to defend this pawn is making things a little unpleasant. Now if takes, I can, and then say they commit, I can take with the queen, and then this knight isn't pinned anymore, and he's free to recapture. Okay. Oh, really? That seems like disastrously bad. Don't I just go here and pick up the queen? I don't see anything wrong with that. By the way, I've been recording these videos like all over the whole chess series so far has been over the course of like 2 days. So Black resigned. Okay. So I'm sure you guys have been leaving all kinds of encouraging feedback, tips to help me improve my game. I haven't read a single one of them. So if you haven't, I don't know. If you have, thanks. If you haven't, I don't know. Go ahead and keep enjoying the videos, I guess. But like that just is to explain why I haven't done anything about any of them. I maybe have responded to the comments, but because that sort of happens later. So here we go. Here was a game where I didn't have a disastrous blunder to finish things. I had a mistake here, apparently. Actually, it's a huge mistake. Dropped like a piece, but I was still ahead. I had created enough of an advantage. So it hates this. This was the move can I see like a... Is there some way to see how much time I spent? I know you can do that on chess.com. Move times? Bishop takes f6. Yeah, so on the one hand, the single move I spent the most time on, almost 2 full minutes, was the worst play of the entire game. So on the one hand, that could suggest maybe you should stop thinking so hard about positions that you convince yourself to do something dumb. But I think a more charitable interpretation would be like that I recognized this was an important decision and worked on it as much as I could. I still got it wrong in the end, but at least I'm paying attention to the right things. So I tried to work out like there's this big knot in the middle here. and a lot that can happen. Oops, no, don't just make the same move again. I know. I'm just trying to scroll the page, and that scrolls. I don't ever want. Oh, maybe I can turn that off. Preferences. I don't want scrolling to move stuff. It's just not a thing that ever makes me happy. I don't think there's a way to do it. Okay. So it doesn't like this. I could just return immediately. I was thinking it would be nice if they ruined their structure. And as you can see, like, I don't know. Well, actually, no, it didn't. Them ruining the structure didn't help me. So I guess what is going on here is that I had some. This hanging bishop just screams tactics, but I couldn't see a way to do anything about it. Because here, I wanted to somehow end with a knight on this square that's not under attack, but you can't. I couldn't see a way to do that. So like I could just return. But the fact that it says I'm +4 tells me I should have something much better than that somewhere. I don't think knight takes here is any better. Maybe it is. I was worried that moving the knight creates a bigger problem here. Because they'd have 3 attackers, and I only have 2 defenders who are kind of tied up defending each other. Maybe I am just supposed to do this first? Just that's not as good. I don't know. What was I supposed to do? Take there. Why? Oh, of course. There are simple principles that would suggest the answer to this. This knight is pinned. Don't take the pinned piece. Pile up on it until you can take it with minimal losses. So I was supposed to take here. And then I can take the knight with a pawn. Yeah, I see. So takes. And they're saying best is just give up the queen, huh? It's a bit of a surprise. And give this up also? Not even take my... Oh, no, this is just developing with check, and then you pick something up. Yeah, sure, because my king is pretty upset about everything. Develop some more with check. That opens up a defense on the bishop, but it doesn't matter. They can still pick it up with the rook. Oh my god, I'm going for a walk here. So they finally get to collect the bishop. And this whole thing only works out for me in the end because I can get this knight at the end? Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to see this? Develop with check, and like right now there's a knight hanging, and I have a bishop hanging, so those kind of balance each other out. Develop with check, and I move. And the knight can move from being taken by a pawn and give me a great center, and by the way, attacking another knight, to here. Now it's finally safe for them to pick this up. And I'm actually giving up a queen to take the knight. And I end up with a rook here. All of this. And it's finally like, yeah, you're up a bit in that exchange. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel bad for missing that whole thing. But I'm not sure how much of that whole thing you need to see in order to see this. Oh, it's not my move. Or wait, was this too soon? I see. This is actually sooner. It says you should pile up on the knight now, but it doesn't mind too much if I take here first. Then, when black doesn't get this pawn out of the way, now it's a serious mistake that I should capitalize on. So I don't need to see that whole exchange to realize that piling up on the knight is a good move. And that they're going to have to give me the knight here. It turns out they do something other than give me the knight, if they're like insanely good and can see, you know, 5 moves ahead. They end up like doing a bunch of shit instead. But if you imagine something a little more prosaic, like I think this move is very alien at the level of play that I'm at. Nobody would do that. I don't know what you do though. Because you don't want to have to take here with the queen, because the knight can retake. And if you end up taking with the pawn, then bishop can take, forking the queen and the rook. I guess something more natural would be maybe this. Obviously, it's much worse, according to the engine. God damn it, I hate fucking scrolling. Here. Here? I'm not totally sure why this is good. Like, it says I'm +8. And the key move is to just run away with the bishop? Where is my advantage coming from? I don't get it. Like, we're equal on minor pieces. We're equal on major pieces. I'm up a pawn. And then 7 points worth of position that I don't see. Like, there just must be something huge around the corner that, once again, I can't understand. I somehow built it. Well, okay, I didn't, but I built some of it. I built 4 of these 8 points and then threw them away. But like, what is the tactic here? I guess the king is pretty unsafe. I have stuff like this around the corner someday. Forking the queen and an undefended bishop. As soon as I can get, not the queen, the king. As soon as I can get a defender on this space. Why is this good? Okay, here. I don't understand. Like, I'm only a little bit more developed. My pawn structure is better. But just as I'm miles ahead. Just make a bunch of quiet, do-nothing moves. And I don't know. I don't get it. I've played like what move are we on here in the analysis? I don't even know. And I still don't see any big advantage for me. They can do this. And wait, somehow I've ended up plus a minor piece? When did that happen? Right now we're even. No, I'm up a knight. Was I up a knight all that time and I just like didn't notice? Yes. Right, I got this knight. Okay, well that sort of makes some sense that I have this big advantage. They could do this. Get a really nicely developed rook. Develop more pieces. And black's king is just naked. If they move here, I'm threatening stuff like this, maybe? They probably defend with the queen. So I don't do it. I don't know. I feel like this is, in some sense, a tough conversion. Like, I don't... I'm up 9, but none of it is obvious to me. I don't know how I would be converting this. Just start pushing pawns? Make use of the advantage that way? I don't know, it's weird. I'm just trying to see when something amazing happens for me in this game that I'm up 9. Why? Wait, why do this? What's the... I'm threatening pawn push. Doesn't even make sense. Pawn push takes, oops, takes, and I'm like down a pawn? But I've ruined their structure even more, and I guess I can start doing stuff like this. Ah, I see. So I can't actually retake with queen. Anyway. We ended up winning that one. But not through any great brilliance. I just actually spotted my opponent's blunder for a change. It was a pretty obvious one, I have to say. And I was up a little. Wow. Why is that move so bad? Because I should just take it, huh? Yeah. I didn't notice until a little while later that this pawn was just lying there. I went in for this first, which is bad because it gives them the tempo to deflect and then address the problem. But they didn't. And I still missed. Well, no, I caught that this pawn was free. But this is actually the important one because I have to notice this knight is pinned. The whole point was that I pinned him. And then I should do something about it by attacking him more. Okay, that's a lesson. Maybe I've learned it. We shall see. Anyway, that's enough chess for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.